Sipping on some scissor. Sipping on some sipping on some scissor. All right, y'all. So I got gotta take my hoodie off for this one. Very important message that I share with you all today. It is imperative that you receive this today. It is imperative that you share this with your brother today. It is imperative that you tell your sister and your family listening up today because you got something to tell. All right. Leave your comments on the side. Again, I'm going to respond to every comment like I always do. And let's get in for a great session. Let's get it in. So you all already see what today's topic is, which is Black men's fear of letting down family to uplift yourself, aka not balling during Christmas. Not balling during Christmas. So basically, this is talking about the fear of letting your folks down in order to do what's necessary to lift yourself up. All right. So starting off with the basics. Let's talk about some statistics. My favorite part. I always say that, when you're receiving information, it's best to practice both pseudoscience, which is a lot of wisdom, the wisdom aspect of knowledge in life, and then it's also very smart to follow practical science at the same time, which is hard data, which is hard science that's easily applicable and experimental. You can do an experiment and it creates a result, hopefully a desired result. That's practical science, pseudoscience. So I always try to combine both when I'm giving you all information, when I'm giving you all content, no matter if it's a tweet, no matter if it's a video. You're always going to get a combination of both because that's who I am. That's how I practice when I'm coaching. And that's my interest when I'm learning. So starting it off, I got to tell y'all something interesting while I was preparing for this video that I found. Because I said, let me give y'all some more context to this so I can make this really hit home. So I wanted to start off with the spending statistics on Christmas. The spending statistics on Christmas. How much money are men spending on Christmas? All right. How much bread are we dropping for Christmas? All right. So the average man is spending $725 for Christmas. $725 for Christmas. That's an Xbox or PS4. All right. That's a pair of jeans, that's some sneakers or hats for somebody else to have, for a whole lot of other people to have, for your kids to have, right? $725 going out the door. Well, you could have took that money, you could have poured it into an IRA account, you could have poured it into a 401k account, could have poured it into a stash account, you could have invested it into your business. You could have bought a Facebook marketer, social media marketer to promote your page. You could have easily flipped that $725. But no, this is dead money. Here's a more interesting fact behind that. Most of that money, most of the time when we have $725 to spend towards Christmas, it's not coming out of our direct deposit. It's not coming out of our debit card. It's not coming out of our bank accounts directly. No, that's money that's coming 68% of the time. It's coming from savings. All right, 55% of the time, that money is coming from credit cards. All right, 6% of the time, we borrow that money from the family. 5% of the time, that's payday loan money. And another 6% of the time is personal loans that we take out. All for that $725 to go and appease some other family member. That money is not going to see that money is not going to make a return on investment. That money is not coming back. Not only that, there's an interest that we have to pay on top of that money that we borrowed either from that credit card or from the family member. Well, family members usually don't put interest on it. But, they start watching how many times you're going to borrow money from. The payday loans definitely going to put their interest on it. They're going to want at least 10, 14% on that return interest on that money that they gave you on a personal loan. Same thing. So that $725 is going out the door. All right. Here's some other interesting statistics to keep in mind. Again, I want you to keep all this in context. All right. The average wealth of black men. All right. The average wealth of black men in America. All right. Is about. Hold on. Let me take that back because I didn't. Let me tell you this: the average income of black men in America is $42,000 a year. All right. Put that out there. That's a fact. Average income of black men in this country is between $42,000 and $44,000 a year before taxes. No, taxes don't take 42% of that. Before housing expenses, living expenses, before children, right? You haven't got to your own personal, luxurious expenses, right? So even when we retire, the average amount that most black families, we're not talking about just black men individually, but most men leave black families that they live in. I know the numbers out there, women leave black families, I think like 70% of the time or something like some high number like that. You have to keep in mind that's an account for when there's a family unit, meaning there's children involved. There's a children, there's an adult, right? That's not taking account for these are married couples. Men still carry the wealth across every racial group in this country. Men still largely carry all the wealth, right? Majority of the wealth. So black men still out earn even black women. Like on average, a black woman is earning on average $38,000 a year before taxes, 36, 38 a year. Again, black men is 42, 44. I keep in mind, I know you looking like, oh, that can't be true because I make this, me and my friends, not me and my circle. That's the favorite term. Not me and my circle. I don't know who you know. Yes, I know you might live in a bubble, the black mecca bubbles, the black bubbles of intellectualism across the country, which are DC, which is New York, which is Atlanta, large portions of Atlanta, which is LA. All right, those are the black intellectual bubbles of America, meaning this is where a lot of the black intellectuals and high performing blacks in academia in the corporate world go because those are the places that pay the most often for your talent. So yes, if you're around so many blacks who are high performers all day, you're going to think that's the normal across the country, but it's not. You still have places like Ferguson, St. Louis, Concord, North Carolina. You still have places in Montana. You still have places in Minneapolis, Cincinnati, etc. So yes, it's not as high as you think it is. So we just have a huge issue. There's a income wealth gap disparity when it comes to black men anyway and white men. Like that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I just want to let black men know. I brought up those numbers and that information to let black men know that you ain't balling. You can't afford. You don't have enough. You don't have enough wealth power to be balling. We as a community don't have enough wealth power to be balling. So though there are individuals, and exceptions of us who are doing really well out here in this economy, it's still as a collective, the black collective, we don't have enough yet to consider ourselves balling, to be able to afford to be balling. And I bring this up because a lot of black men struggle, just like every other human being does, every other man does. You feel the pressures of wanting to do and contribute to your family, to say, I love you, I thank you, I care about you during the holiday season, in particular Christmas. What I made this video for is so that you don't drive yourself crazy trying to fulfill an expectation, an unrealistic expectation during this holiday. All right. So let's get into that part. So what's the crux of, so here's the thing, you don't want to let your family down, so that's why you want to buy these gifts, right? You want to, get your mom's pay a bill for, or even buy her a car. You want to buy your girl something nice, a ring. You maybe want to propose her. You want to get her a really nice engagement ring she had been talking about all year. Or you want to get her a really nice bag, a really nice purse, some really bad red bottoms, some shoes. Or you want to get your kids some latest video game or toy because they had great grades all school year. You told them that if they hit a certain mark in school, that you will reward them with a great Christmas gift, right? So you want to go out your way to provide all these. You put yourself in the hole to provide all these financial obligations to your family, to your people, right? At the same time, it puts a lot of pressure on you because now you got to deter your own personal goals and aspirations and your goals and aspirations for the family unit in order for this short-term fulfillment. All right. So it's the pressures of that. It's like, damn, it's do I let my family down in order to uplift myself, or am I being stingy? Am I being cheap? Am I being, not being, am I not being the man of the house, the man of the family? Am I not being enough? It causes you to, when you're not able to give or not, you're coming as conflict to give more than you actually have. It makes you start to question your own self-worth, right? Which all boils down to, what is the crux of this fear? The crux of this fear is not feeling that you're good enough, all right? That's all going to boil down to the outcome of the decision that you make. The outcome of the decision that you make is going to always be, if you feel that you're good enough, you're going to go out your way to, if you feel that you're good enough, you're not going to go out your way to give if it's going to be at the detriment of your future. But if you feel you are good enough, if you feel you aren't good enough, then you're going to go out your way to give to others, even though it's going to be the detriment of your future. All right. So again, if you feel that you are good enough, then you're not going to go out your way to give at the detriment of your own future. But if you feel you aren't good enough, then you are going to go out your way to give to others at the detriment of your own future. All right. So that's one of the biggest fears that Black men face during this particular part of the holiday season and the year. And I wanted to attack that. Yeah, I got any questions? Post your questions on the side. Let me see. I want to see if I can leave something here. If you have any questions, you can always DM me or shoot me a message here. If I have anything, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well. I'm gonna just put that link up. I am getting my website and everything together. And if you're follow me on Facebook as well. I'm gonna give you out my personal Facebook page. So I really don't be on my business page like that. So those are the 3. I'm here on YouTube. Again, I'm only gonna do live videos on YouTube, nowhere else. And I'm on Twitter often, Instagram. I post damn near daily or every 2 days. Facebook, I'm on every day. So I'm gonna give you all this. I still got a little bit more to share with you all. Let me clean this up real quick. Let's see. And while I'm cleaning this up, I want to let you all know, like, this is the biggest crux that Black men have to deal with during the holiday season. This is a time where a lot of Black men start to shy away from their family. They get real quiet. This is the time of the year where a lot of Black men go into debt. Again, trying to appease, right? Trying to appease those who. The sad part be a lot of family members who, a lot of the time it's like you're like they're still gonna love you the same, a lot of the time it's not even just the family members that want to appease. They want to appease the people that surround the family members, because they want to appease what mom friends gonna say about her son, or your kids' friends are gonna say about their father, or your girl's friends gonna say about her husband or her boyfriend. Those are the people that we when we often do these things that we're looking to appease and get approval from. Again, you don't have a true sense of self-worth as valuable, you're going to make these mistakes. So in saying that, I want to say, let me close out with this. So let me ask you this as well. What's the consequences of trying to prove that you're good enough? Here's the consequences. You're going to lose generational income ability when you take this risk of giving more to others than you have to give. You lose the ability to be able to take care of the next generation after you, which is, highly important, which is the most valuable. It's what you're doing all this for, right? What else? You limit your ability to invest further into your future. So you don't invest in your businesses. Again, this is $725 going out the door. It's not coming back. It's not. Yeah, people look at it as you're investing in their happiness. Like if it takes a holiday, one holiday out the week to make somebody happy, then you have a bigger problem than you are acknowledging. Someone should be happy for you and happy with you more than one day out the year because of you giving, because you're buying them something. Right? You need to really start to question what is the quality of that relationship if it boils down to gifts. All right. So you have to limit. It causes you to limit your ability to invest in your future. Because think about it, if you can give a little bit less now to be able to give a lot more later on, it's worth the risk, right? Then you devalue yourself as a resource. Again, that's $725 you don't have. So if your daughter needs field trip money, or if your wife car breaks down, or something happens with her at the house, or she loses her job or something, you never know. She needs to be able to rely on you, and you can't give you $725 short, right? On top of whatever you can scrounge up to get her, you still missing $725. That could have been more useful of a resource. You could have been more useful of a valuable resource to her. All right. Again, these are all the consequences that come with you trying to prove that you're good enough, right? You devalue yourself as a resource. You develop animosity towards those things you did for people, which is a big one because this happens a lot too. You sit back, you go through your times of doubt and defeat, and you just sit back and look at all the things you did for other people. And you sit and think to yourself, you're like, damn, you know, when it's time for me to help somebody out, I'm always there. I'm always picking up the phone. I'm always helping out. But when it's time for them to do the same for me, everybody quiet. Everybody get going. Everybody disappears. Right? That's often the struggle. That's often the belief. Right? And that's the animosity you start to develop towards those you've given so much for, you sacrifice so much for. Think about it. Think about all the things you bought for people over the years who are people not even around nowadays. They're not around. For one reason or another, they're not in your life. Right? Think about that. So, 1 second. Yeah. So you have to think about that. People think about all the gifts that you've given to people. Like I know I've given people a ton of gifts. I've given away a ton of money. I've given away a ton of gifts, and most of those people are not around. You know, and then even when you did give those gifts, most of the people that you're giving those gifts for, they didn't appreciate it. You know, and it's not to say that all of them are bad people, but it's just people. They're human. They go through human emotions. They get real, especially women. They get very short-sighted when it comes to things that you've done for them. It can be your own mom. It can be your own, siblings. It can be your own wife. It can be your own kids. So, that's what I want you to think about too. How many people have you given things for? And how many of those same people are still around? Or how grateful have they shown that you've given them those things? I remember one year I bought my whole family books. The whole family. I bought them all books. All right. And the year after that, it was just like as if I didn't buy those books. You know, that cost me a lot of money at that time. This was before Kindle was even big. All right, let me figure out what's going on here. This before Kindle was a thing, right? So that's what I want you to keep in mind. So in this last point I want to make, I want you to ask yourself this closing question. This is the closing question. Closing question is this. What are you looking to prove this Christmas that you didn't already prove the Christmas beforehand? Again, what are you looking to prove this Christmas that you didn't prove the Christmas beforehand? Because if you didn't prove it last Christmas or the Christmas before that or Christmas before that, what's going to make the difference with this Christmas? Only difference is now you can take a larger portion of your efforts and pour them back into yourself so you're able to grow more, develop yourself more, to be a greater resource more, have even better Christmases in the future versus sacrificing a little bit that you have now to keep throwing money down a black hole of some type of love or some type of affirmation or some type of word from your loved ones that you didn't get last year. I'm not telling you all not to celebrate Christmas. I'm just telling you all, for those of you who are facing this conflict, you sacrifice and cut off what you've been working so hard for to build all year long just to be able to appease someone for a day or two. Again, ask yourself this. What are you looking to prove this Christmas that you didn't already prove last Christmas or the Christmases beforehand? All right, Courage Coach here, Fear Coach here, D'Amicos. If you're interested in one-on-one sessions with me, just shoot me a DM. I'll shoot you my rates and availability. We could set something up. If you have a fear that's keeping you from obtaining a life-changing goal, that's what I'm here for as your fear coach, especially as a Black man. And I'm an advocate for the mental health of Black men. So that's what this whole channel is for. Advocating for the mental health of Black men, and especially helping them and you all navigate your fears. All right. Find the courage now. Share this video. Comment below. Share your experiences. Your experiences not only for me, but for others who are reading them and can relate and needs that empowerment, needs your testimony, needs your story as well. All right, y'all. Find the courage now. Subscribe to the channel because I'm going to do these once a week at least. And I look forward to engaging and growing. Thank you.